Are you rethinking your purpose in life? Being centered in a strong spiritual connection is more important now than ever. Hi, I'm Bryn Blankinship, hypnotherapist, international instructor, and author. Each episode, I'll share my experiences with guiding spiritual regression clients into the afterlife and the soul lessons gained, prompting you to explore your own soul's journey and empowering you by shifting your perception of yourself and your place in this world. I want you to know that you're here by design, not by accident. You are not alone. You are loved. You are here on purpose, for a purpose. When you stand in your truth and fulfill your purpose, you support others in fulfilling theirs. If this intrigues you, stay tuned in as we explore.
Well, hey everybody, it's Bryn Blankinship here, Afterlife teacher, and today we're going to talk about regression therapy certification and how that is a catalyst that transforms you first, right? So for the students, it's a transformative experience, just like it was for me when I took my training, and then that goes on to help you, to help your clients. So we're talking about hypnomastery and the fast track to certification because I want to get you there as quickly as possible, but I want to give you that foundation so that when you leave my course, you feel comfortable stepping out there into the world. And so I'm an internationally recognized instructor. I've been doing this for over 20 years for myself with the Hypno-Regression Institute. I've been working with clients, and I also helped start and work with Michael Newton and taught with him for the Newton Institute for 20 years as well. So I have that foundation and that background. And then in addition to that, in my other life, I was an actress and a legal assistant. So I like to bring all of those techniques together to help my students to, things I learned in cold reading that are going to help students when they are starting out and they have a client sitting in front of them, and to help them get over their nerves, right? To give them confidence from the start. But what you learn through the course is you learn about yourself first. And then you also learn technique as you're doing that. So, with the courses, just know that we're awakening the healer within. And you've been here before. You've been here before as a healer. So it's understandable that you would be drawn to the healing arts to learn more about that and find ways to help clients and help others. But it starts with helping yourself. It starts with putting yourself in the chair and opening up your emotions and your awareness. And, the past life stories that come through are amazing. It is incredible when students discover that their past lives are on other planets, or their past lives are in other countries, or sometimes it's fascinating when you discover that you're a female now, but you tend to incarnate more as a male, or vice versa. So these are the kinds of discoveries that are going to help broaden a student's awareness. That's going to help them with every client that comes through their office, that sits in their chair. So this is a catalyst both professionally and personally, and it is emphasizing transpersonal, transformative growth at a transpersonal level in not only as the practitioner, but as the client. And unlike your traditional conventional hypnotherapy trainings and programs, transpersonal hypnosis understands that the answers lie within. So the client created the issue, but they also know how to resolve it so they can move on from it. In fact, they created it so they could resolve it and learn from that, feel empowered, and then move on from that. So that is what past life regression, the way I teach it, that's what this is about. And something that I do that a lot of other programs do not is I tell the students it's not about the story. So there are these amazing stories that I just shared that come out of class that students, are just shocked that they were a king or a queen, or, that they had a background in a past life that they had. And then I say, okay, now drop that. It's not about the story, it's about the feeling. How did it feel to have that experience in that lifetime? Well, it was a weight of responsibility on me. Or it was a wonderful lifetime. Everything was great. So sometimes students are taken back to lifetimes where everything went well, they were prospering, to remind them how they can do that now. And then other times they go to lifetimes where they're bringing back skill sets. Well, that would be a skill set too, to be more prosperous and have that mindset so you can attract more to you, but also bringing in specific skills from past lives that that would benefit them now. And, we do a couple of past lives in class, and then you're doing practice sessions outside of class as well. So students are discovering through those experiences even deeper layers of self-awareness within them and why they're drawn to certain things, certain people, certain places, why they were drawn to the course, why they were drawn to the course at this time with these students, because often they find out that they've had past lives with some of the same people in class, or even with me. So, these are things that come out of the course, the natural progression of doing the work by being present in class, by participating. Everyone has to participate. We don't have anyone that is allowed to just watch, but we have lecture, we have demonstration, and then we have experientials. And the experientials teach you because you're learning by facilitating a session, and you're also learning by receiving a session. So you learn on both sides of that experience, and it's going to help you with your clients. It's going to help with tone, pacing, ways to guide your clients, comfort level, confidence. A big thing that I emphasize, and I really have structured the course this way to help my students, is confidence for the practitioner. So many people, I used to go to conferences and meet so many hypnotherapists that were certified, but they had never gotten started. They had never started working with clients. Some of those programs certified hypnotherapists and past life regressionists, although they had never worked with a physical client. I don't even know how that's possible. My course is very interactive. It is global. So we have students from all over, but it is in English. Some of those students, English is not their first language, but that transcends time and space. And there's just an understanding between the practitioner and the student, the client in that case, and it just transcends. And that's what we're getting across to the students, to have that confidence, because they say, Bryn, you just ask them to close their eyes, and they close their eyes, and then they're in a past life. Well, it's not quite that simple, and I am doing a few things to guide them into that space, but I'm imparting that to the students so they can do that for themselves and with their clients as well. And I want them to have that confidence that they know how to handle it, and that they can handle a variety of situations and work with people from a variety of backgrounds. And that's going to give you confidence with every single session that you do and every person that sits in your chair. This is the catalyst for transformation. It's taking you from, hey, that might be fun, I might like to try that, to actually getting started and having a skill and some tools that you can use to start your practice. And it's flexible. You can do this. So it's an online interactive training, right? And then we have breakout rooms that you can go in and do practice sessions. But it's also teaching you how to do online sessions from the start. I used to be against online. I was like, no, I'm going to stick with having the person sit in front of me And then the lockdowns happened, and I had a class lined up. The day before class, the governor locked down the entire state. No one, it's social distancing, all of that stuff started. No one was allowed in or out. So I had to call everyone. Thankfully, they waited for me. And during that period, I said, it just hit me. My guide said, look, you're going to do this online. And I said, what? And they said, yeah, you're going to do this online. So I worked it out, got everybody together, and we were able to have class and we were able to move forward. And I haven't looked back. As the instructor, I haven't looked back. My classes are online now, and I'm teaching students how to do that from the start so that they can practice with others. They are practicing with students in other countries. They are practicing with students across their state or in other parts of the US or, across the world. And so this is giving them the tools. You don't have to go set up an office. You have to have a space that is free of distractions so that you can work with your client, right? So when you're getting started and you're trying to figure it all out, you don't have to invest in some of those things yet. You're going to do that down the road, but you can figure out your format and what you like and how you want to work. And then you can decide, am I going to join a wellness center? Am I going to have, a practice? Am I going to do this full or part-time? Is this something that I'm going to do like a transition? Sometimes people do this as a transition from full-time work into retirement. You just have to be present for your client. You have to be a good listener. These are things you're going to develop as well in doing the course because you're going to be listening and you're going to be learning to pay attention to those subtle signs that your clients are giving. And in doing that, you're going to open up your own psychic abilities and your own intuitive gifts. And you're going to be more aligned with your soul's purpose and have more clarity about what it is that you need to do. And then I'm going to give you some practical tools to help guide you. So that's what's so great about this. You are learning practical tools in a structured format, but no two sessions are the same. And you're learning by being in the client chair, and you're developing confidence in yourself. Confidence is a big one. I know I've said that a couple of times, but that is a really big one because I want you to leave my course feeling good about the knowledge and feeling good about yourself so that you can go out there and stand tall and let your light shine and guide others in that process. So, the other thing is you don't have the travel expense or the stress of travel and connecting flights. So you're just showing up online and we come together as a group and we're together all day and we're learning and we're sharing. And you have an opportunity to talk with me. It's not like you're just sitting there watching the screen, right? That's what's so important about my course. It's the same as when it was in person. It is interactive. That is what makes this really unique, is that it's interactive and it's teaching you to interact and be more comfortable being present so that you can get the downloads from your guides who are helping you guide that client. And I'm teaching you to be comfortable being not knowing, right? When your client shows up, they might have filled one thing out on the intake form and then they show up and they're like, look, here's what I really want to work on. And you'll be like, that's great because Bryn gave me these tools and I'm going to give you some scripts. I'm going to give you little mini scripts that go with things that you can just plug in this and that here and there to give you a foundation while you're learning. And then that is imparting that knowledge to your brain so that you'll have some of that memorized. But it's putting some structure around some techniques so that you've got a format, but you've got an interchangeable, flexible format that's there for each client that comes in. And, we do ancestral work as well. So we do clinical work and hypno skill sets. And then that's the course that you take. You take your intro course, which teaches you your induction. It's a 2-day workshop. We have one coming up this weekend. And you take the 2-day to learn the induction that you're going to use this with every client, this foundation with every client that sits in your chair. Then you're going to take the hypno skill sets to learn some foundations of hypnosis, clinical hypnosis, the transpersonal approach, which is going to lead you then to hypno-regression. With hypno-regression, we're also not only learning about past lives, we're learning about womb regression, childhood regression, and ancestral regression. Because you may have clients that start going into a past life and they end up on another planet. Okay? Well, we're going to teach you about that. Or you have clients who go into their ancestry or want to go into their ancestry to explore further about that person or those people in their history, to break patterns, to carry forward information. This became the big focus of our last course. Our last hypno-regression course, a big part of that was when the demo went into the ancestry of that student's ancestor who had a lot of unanswered questions. And that it wasn't a guide, it was the ancestor that came through and guided her and told her where to find some of those answers and what to do and why she was even taking my course. So it's really powerful work, and it is incredible because I couldn't have made that up, right? But it was mesmerizing to have that happen right in front of you. Sometimes during the past life class, because we're together in a concentrated group, some of the master teachers come through. Like we've had Jesus, we've had Buddha come through and speak to those students in a group demo where Jesus came through and you could feel the energy throughout the course, throughout the class, through the group. And he had messages and he had some things to say for that student as well as others. And what was so interesting in current life, that student did not have a background in Christianity or the Christian religion. So that happens sometimes. And then some of the insights, some of the shifts that take place for students just naturally are that they have more peace. There's more peace and clarity and self-trust as they're moving forward. They have tools that are helping them to amplify their natural gifts. And they're learning, but they're enjoying while they're learning. And then specific things that come up in class get are brought to them so that for each student, they might have some specifics that's coming to them because of the kinds of clients they're going to attract in their practice. And along with that, this is really heart-centered work, and they're opening to that strong intuition, and they're learning some tools that are going to help them guide others through this heart-centered work. And that's what's so really powerful, is when I know I've done my own work, and then I'm able to guide students and assist them the way I've guided my clients. That is really powerful to be part of this and to see it, to see my students blossom and, see their growth from day one as they move through the stages of the course and then they turn into case studies. So it's just really powerful work. And along with this, students are connecting to their spirit guides who are guiding them. They are finding out more about soul groups and their specific guides who are coming in to guide them now as they're stepping into this next phase of being the hypnotherapist. They're accessing past life memories through their other incarnations. They are tapping into those skills and abilities that they've had that are carried forward from that lifetime and other lifetimes. And, any apprehension that they may have had about doing this work starts to just fade away because they're involved and enveloped in the energy of learning and their guides are sharing with them what they need to know. Sometimes their guides are telling them what's coming up for them, and that's really powerful too. So, this is a proven format to give you that foundation. And clients not only have an expanded, students not only have an expanded sense of hypnotherapy, but they have an expanded sense of themselves. So that's what I really want to get across to you is, yes, we're learning hypnosis, past life regression, and all that goes with that. But you're learning about yourself as a soul, and you're learning about yourself and your place in this world and why you're here now at this time in history to shine your light. And you are a light being. If you're in fear, you're dimming your light. With each client, we are helping them open up and expand their light and stand in their presence. And that's what I'm doing with my students to help them do that and stand in the presence of themselves as the healer and the hypnotherapist. And there's a strong demand for hypnotherapy. It's one of the fastest growing professions. And it continues to be as people are seeking out this higher awareness and this support. You also, like I've said, you have the ability to work with clients in other countries from the comfort of your home. And I had this one student who, when she came out of the session, she was like, wow, did I just work from my house with someone in another country? So, this training is to open up more than you thought possible on Zoom. Because who would have thought that you could learn and be taught through this medium and make it become alive and teach you how to use it so that you can do sessions with clients and others in other places. So after taking this course, where will you be? You'll take the course, you'll turn in your casework, my team of reviewers will review it, and you will then you'll have dual eligibility as a certified hypnotherapist, a certified regressionist, specializing in stress management, weight release, smoking cessation, and past life regression. That's your foundation that you're going to have. And just real quickly, our next course, the 2-day course, is coming up this weekend, March 21st and 22nd. Or you have the option of taking the 2-day course, April 11 and 12. And then those are required to take Hypno Skill Sets, which is April 22 to 26, and Hypno Regression, May 13 through 17. So you can take the 2-day, roll right into April and May, start your certification process, and become certified quickly. And if you want to do that, you can just go to brynblankinship.com. You can register through the website. Don't go by the counter on the website. It's not accurate because some people have signed up outside of class. I couldn't change it because that would change the whole link. So anyway, if you want to sign up, as long as that link is up and I can get a manual to you by email, you can take the course. So we'd love to have you join us if this speaks to you. And something I really want to emphasize is you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be present so that you can listen to your client, and then you will be guided and know where to find the right tool to help that client in that moment. And that's what I'm teaching you. So you are listening to The Afterlife Teacher with Bryn Blankinship. Soul Lessons bringing you full circle. We would love to have you join us. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can also follow me on YouTube if you're interested. So thank you so much. And until next time, we will see you then.
You've been listening to Afterlife Teacher, Soul Lessons, bringing you full circle with Bryn Blankinship. Tune into Transformation Talk Radio for more discussions of the soul's journey across different lifetimes and soul lessons gained, helping you to consider the deeper reason you are here. Bryn shares her wisdom spanning 20 years of guiding spiritual regression clients into the afterlife and connecting them with their spiritual team and soul's purpose to bring them full circle, helping you gain insight into your own soul's purpose while supporting others in fulfilling theirs. Living in partnership with your soul, with less worry and greater trust, you can be in divine flow and thrive. For more information on becoming a certified hypnotherapist and regressionist and assisting with the global transformation taking place, visit brynblankinship.com.